In this part of the tutorial, we're going to show you how to set up your development environment, including how to create a mod and how to install and configure Visual Studio to work with the source engine for debugging purposes. The first step is to create a new mod through the Source SDK. We're going to be using the Orangebox engine, and we're going to be modifying the Half-Life 2 Episode 2 single player, so be sure that you have the right engine and game selected, and then in Create a Mod, be sure you have single player selected. We're going to name this mod JetMod and put it on the C drive so that we can easily access it. While the files are copying over, open up Firefox or any other web browser and go to www.microsoft.com/express/2005/download. Once you're there, scroll down the page and find the Visual C++ section. Hit the download link, and then continue down the page to download the Express SP1 Update Pack, as well as the Microsoft Platform SDK. For this, click on the Install link, then the Platform SDK link, to go to the Microsoft Download website. Validate your copy of Windows, and scroll down the link to select the proper version. In this case, we're going to be using the PSDK x86. Close up the Mod tool, and close Source SDK. Once the files are finished downloading, run the installer and the updater for Visual Studio Express. You only need to use the default options and click through, so we're not going to show you that, but things are a little different for the Platform SDK installer. For this installer, we're going to want to do a custom installation. Use the default directory, but when you get to the custom installation menu, deselect everything except for the debugging tools, direct show, and the Windows Core SDK. Installing the other packages won't hurt you, but they're not necessary and will slow down your installation. With all the installations finished, let's clean up and open up Visual Studio. We're going to want to open the project for Half-Life 2, which you can find in your mod directory under src Game HL2 2005. The other two solutions, we're not going to be touching this tutorial. However, the Everything SDK includes all of the projects for the various libraries that the engine depends on, and the Game Episodic includes all of the defines and different files that are used in the episodic versions of the source engine. Our first step is going to be to get the solution to compile. To do this, go over to the Solution Explorer and right-click on the Client Solution. Open up the Properties window, and under the linker, in the Input menu, add user32.lib to the additional dependencies. Be sure you do this to both the debug and the release configuration. Once you've done that, open up the server properties. You can do this by simply leaving the window open and clicking on the server solution, and add it here too. Again, be sure to add it to both the debug and the release builds. Once you've done this, you can start your first build. Now that your build's been compiled, you need to be sure that it's copied the DLL files to the target directory. You can do this by checking and seeing if there's a copying to destination folder message in your build output window. Another way to check this is to simply open up a new window and browse to the target directory. The target directory should always be your mods folder under Source Mods in the Steam Apps folder. Open up the bin folder, and if you don't see a client or server DLL file, go back to your project, open up the Properties window, and check your custom build step. If everything looks okay, you're probably the victim of one of Visual Studio's more minor errors. Every once in a while, it'll simply fail to notice that the custom build step needs to be executed. To fix this, simply double-click on Outputs, cut them all out, hit Apply, then paste them back in. If you do this for both the client and the server solutions, then you should have no problem getting the custom build step to execute. Hit build one more time and you'll be set.